Have you ever listened to psychic mediums and everything turns out to be light and bright and all is well? Have you then realized that there's more to reveal, that maybe something is missing, something raw? Welcome to Eye of Soul Radio with me, Psychic Medium Jaime. Journey to the raw side of spirit during this live call-in show. I'm a mother, medium, Reiki master, spiritual connector, and meditation guru. I provide a safe space for people to turn when they are scared and need a non-judgmental heart. Eye of Soul Radio allows you to receive spiritual guidance and empowering self. We get real. We reach everyone and exclude no one. Are you ready to look at the raw side of spirit with me? This show is leaving nothing off limits. Eye of Soul Radio starts now. Hello and happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Psychic Medium Jaime, and you are listening to Eye of Soul Radio with my permanent 5 o'clock Thursday spot. So for some of you that aren't used to me being on every Thursday, it's happening. You honestly get me 10 times this month, which I don't know if you can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it. I mean, it's very exciting. Last minute, I actually roped Spirit Walker Nicole to join me. So this is the first time you've joined Eye of Soul Radio.
I know, I'm excited.
I know. But I thought this topic was so interesting, and it's something that I would love to be able to have like the conversational piece too on, as well as some angelic guidance, because as we all know, and for those of you that follow Eye of Soul but don't know Spirit Walker Nicole from our Shades of Spirit radio show, she connects with the angelic realm, your spirit guides, the higher level ascended masters, with like, it's effortlessly for her. For me, it takes a little bit more to bring those energies in, but for her, she just goes right up and connects. And so I thought, if we're talking about death, why not bring in some of that angelic guidance, have her kind of talk to her posse up there, if you will, and get some words of wisdom from them as well, and kind of get their perspective. Ironically, death has always fascinated me, and it's not in that morbid, it's the Addams Family kind of way, okay? Not quite. But because I've seen spirit and been surrounded by spirit since a young age, spirits who transitioned, that concept was just simple to me. Like, okay, well, you're not here in the physical body, but guess what, Grandma? You're now standing here on the side of the bed, right? We're here, and then we're not here, but we're here. Like it is that kind of cycle. Like, all right, I can see you here, and now you're over there, but you're not physically here, and yet you're still standing in my space. So I don't have the fear per se of passing or dying. Having a family, that is what puts that human element of fear in there, not wanting to, leave them. I had quite a few friends who actually lost parents to cancer in our middle school age range. And it definitely is hard. So that part of it, I do carry a little bit around with me, but the actual transition, going back home, if you will, no, I don't fear that part of it. I've been to more funerals than I can count on two hands. Some have been very religious funerals, some have not. Open caskets, gravesite services where they put the urn with ashes into the ground. That's a lot of my dad's side of the family did that. So for me, I always kind of sat there actually scratching my head on that one of like, okay, you were cremated, but now you're still inside this urn, and now we're putting it back inside the ground. Never quite understood that concept, but found it fascinating that that's the way that they wanted to go. I've also been to a spreading of the ashes, if you will, for a family member. That was probably the most beautiful experience, being outside, being where that person loved to be, being with family, and then sharing in that moment of spreading those ashes. Being part of it was just so different than sitting in the back and watching someone tell the story about their life, and yet you didn't know my grandma. And so it was like a letter that my mom had to write an aunt, and yet, for me, I lost a little bit of that personal contact in that particular instance. And yet that's what we know here, and our culture that I grew up in, again, my perspective. Also, I had no idea that other cultures and countries had such different ways that they buried their loved ones. I mean, I figured it, but I never really explored it until one day I came across an article on sky burials. I was floored. I gave you a separate set of notes. You have a little more of the details, so we are definitely going to get on that one because it feels so natural for me, which is very interesting, that process. And I literally like read the article a few weeks ago and I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I just felt like they have a connection. It's so spiritual. And that's, what we're all about, is that spiritual side of it. Fun fact. Ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Did you know the United States funeral industry tallies, and this is on multiple sites and search engines, right? So this isn't exact numbers, but this is kind of the roundabout way, are an estimated $20.7 billion per year.
The funeral industry?
Funeral industry per year, United States. We spend about $20.7 billion on funerals. This is why my dad says, when I get to that point, Jaime, just get me up in that airplane, take off the parachute, and kick me out.
Pretty sure that's not allowed.
No, probably not allowed, but that's exactly, you have to ask him sometime. That's exactly what my dad said. No, my parents did take care of their own funeral arrangements probably about 5 years ago, so that it would be nothing that we would have to worry about financially. Their wishes were carried out the way they wanted them to. I mean, really, what the fuck? $20.7 billion? That's a lot of money, right? We have about 2.4 million funerals a year in the United States. Mm-hmm. This year, this is going to be much different. We have so many more passings in the past year and a half. And each funeral cost starts around $11,000.
That's just amazing to me that it would... I got nothing. It's probably not good for a radio show, but I got nothing. That's insane.
I try to put that into perspective, right? Because the whole thing of the funeral is about either the casket or the urn, the actual embalming or the cremation. It's the plot. It's the headstone. It's the person that's going to be officiating over the service. It's, I don't think they're factoring, like if you go somewhere afterwards to like celebrate that life at a home or whatever. And I'm thinking for $11,000, I could buy a car. That could maybe cover part of the housing for the oldest to go to college. I'm putting it in that practical terms for me, and also knowing that I would never want to have that expense upon my kids. So I'm actually going with my dad.
Well, I feel like at some point we have to think like the funeral industry is definitely capitalizing on like grief and people wanting to send their relatives off in that way, in the nicest possible way. So it's like, oh, well, we do have this tasteful yet more expensive model of, whatever, which is just, it's so bad. It
is. Okay, Vicky Brower, that amount is insane. Bury me under a tree. I have an option for you, okay? So let's start getting into it. We'll still take our breaks. You guys, if you want some readings today, I'm more than happy to have Spirit Walker Nicole do them for me. What? We'll do readings. I've got an angel therapy deck and an ask your angel deck because I want to keep our vibration high.
Yes, that's the only two decks we have, not the 72 other ones over here.
That's what Spirit told me to pull today, all right? Told me to pull those. So yes, death is a natural transition. Natural doesn't mean easy or hard, right? It is just the concept of the life cycle. It doesn't mean that we pass easy or that it's going to be a hard passing for us. It just is what it is, right? Part of our journey. We're here living the human life, working on our lessons. We want to face this time around, and then we're done. Bye. Bye, Felicia. And we're out, right? And for some loved ones, that's exactly where they were at. Like this, oh my gosh, we weren't expecting her to pass, and she just passed so peacefully in her sleep. That's because she was like, done. Take me up. Let's go. So it's just that natural process for us, right? But now I understand why people, not just for the financial aspects of it, but the way our society, our culture, our I don't want to say our Greenpeace. I've got a hippie child myself. She wants to save the planet. But those ideas are coming in to be able to preserve our planet because the embalming fluids are toxic. Like there's all sorts of things, and that's seeping into, if you get a casket or something that's biodegradable, not seeping into our earth, and it's not doing so well for what we need to accomplish here. So some solutions that they have come up with along the way, some of these are new ideas and concepts, some are not, are to be able to help better the planet as well. And the first one was interesting. It's the water burial, right? So for my dad, I'm like, so does that mean I kick you off the boat and you just put a little anchor down and you go down? No. A water burial consists of disposing the remains of a loved one at sea. Okay. This could be in the form of cremated remains, either scattered or in a biodegradable urn. So they've created these biodegradable urns, which is fascinating to me, which is, I wonder why now my grandmother was in this like metal urn. Now you could actually be in a biodegradable urn. And if she wanted to be buried underground, now she will actually go back into Mother Earth and be transmuted in that way and fertilize that earth. It could also be in the form of whole body disposal, in which the deceased is submerged in a specifically made casket or natural fiber burial shroud. Interesting to think. I know, you're over here. Picture that. You're on the boat.
I got it.
You're in this natural casket. This process is legal, but is strictly mandated by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Putting that out there, making that clear. Private companies that hold the water burial services can help you navigate through that around the rules and regulations surrounding it, right? So there are places, there's systems in place for something like that. I could see you doing this one. Ready?
Oh, jeez.
Space burial. Yes! The small amount of ash is encapsulated and sent into orbit in a space burial. It's kind of wicked to think. But then I'm like, where's the rest of the ashes? Right? Small amount. So what do they do with I don't know. I guess if I wanted to do that, I would ask where the rest of my ashes are going. Over 450 people have actually had their ashes sent into space since 1992. Did you know
that? For the low price of $11,000, no doubt.
I'd like to tell you.
Oh, perfect.
To go to space.
Yes.
It is $2,400-ish, $2,500-ish, right? Prices start. Now, this is updated information I'm getting from research I'm doing of this year, right? So it's not as high as you think it is. To have part of your ashes shot right up into space.
Is this like a NASA program or what?
Well,
I'm glad.
NASA Space Shuttle and others have been transported by private companies like Asylum Space. Oh. So there's private companies that do that, right? You're going to get into a couple things in a minute. Memorial diamonds and cremation jewelry. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, the cremation jewelry. Mm-hmm. People have the ashes put into the earrings or necklaces or rings as well. They will make actually a diamond out of a synthetic lab-grown diamond out of your ashes. I honestly, this is to no disrespect to anybody, because I actually have clients who have talked about both these methods to me. With the diamond part of it, I'm like, huh? Wow, right? It takes 7 to 11 months to produce, and it's crafted from the ashes and is a wonderful, eternal reminder of your loved one.
Okay.
Interesting.
Until you lose it or it gets stolen.
Oh, could you imagine? I'm gonna need my ashes back out of that ring. I don't know. Okay, last one before we go to break, and we've got so many more for you. I can't wait. Cremation fireworks.
Okay, talk to me.
I know, right? Okay, so have you ever said you wanted to go out with a bang? Woo! Okay, many firework companies can pack a small amount of cremation remains into the fireworks used in professional level displays. I am going off with a bang. New Year's Eve, San Diego Harbor.
That smoke that comes out that may or may not be grandma?
You can have cremated ashes placed in a small self-firing rocket for a more personal display, or you can go out and put on a large public fireworks memorial. I've never seen that, ever, or heard of that.
Well, maybe they just don't tell us.
Regardless, it's a display that no one will ever forget. No shit. Okay, so you guys, we're going to go to break. We've got a lot more of these. If you want a card, can you let us know, right? You can call in or put it in the Facebook feed, and we will get that as well. We've got so many more. Stay tuned. It's fascinating information. You guys can check us out on our website, shadesofspirit.com. Book the 1-hour reading special with me for this month for $75. We've got other things happening on there as well. So you guys, we'll be right back. I can't wait to get into more of this.
Are you trying to lose weight, but feel guilty for eating your favorite foods? Feeling deprived and resentful makes for results that aren't sustainable. Join Adrienne Craig every second and fourth Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for her show, Master Your Mindset for a Weight Loss Breakthrough. Learn to love the journey and watch yourself succeed. For more information about Adrienne or to work with her personally, visit lifecanyon.com.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the new year. During this time of need, I've been called to offer my life coaching services for free. That's right, free, no strings attached. Ram Dass said it best, we're all walking each other home. I'd like to support your walk with my coaching skills. To start the process, hit me up at miles2gocoaching.com and under Book Online, select Is Coaching Right for Me? After that, we'll schedule time to meet and map out whatever you want to work on. I look forward to hearing from you, and remember, you can catch me on Transformation Talk Radio the second and fourth Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. See you soon.
You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthисfunny.com.
The Coach Peggy Show. All things wellness with Coach Peggy Wilms. Tune in live every first and third Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Are you settling? No more. Coach Peggy takes on all things wellness. We go way beyond nutrition and fitness. The Coach Peggy Show is not afraid to be bold, badass, and it's never half in. For more information, visit allthingswellness.com.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Eye of Soul Radio. Some of you are watching us. I'm Psychic Medium Jaime with my guest counterpart, Spirit Walker Nicole.
Hello.
I just thought that this was such a good show to have someone to be able to interact these ideas off of, because I knew cremation firework was going to be something that she would be totally into.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the space one, though, a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
You went to space camp.
I did.
Yeah. Vicky, okay, see, that was our biggest fear, right? Vicky said that her cousin did the amethyst necklace and lost her aunt.
You know her aunt's going, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. Somebody is wearing her aunt at the moment.
You probably don't even know it.
Yeah, they're like, this is beautiful. So I don't think I'll be putting myself in jewelry, because if I gave it to my middle kid, I know for damn sure that somebody else is going to be walking around with me on their finger, and that's not quite what I want to do.
Tattoos, too. Do you talk about that later?
No, that's one you can totally talk about, because that is something we're actually getting a lot of people who are asking, is my mom okay with that concept?
Yeah.
Okay, the usual, donate your body to science, right? I know a lot of people do that.
You sound bored.
I don't know.
Not
I'm not
enough
in there. Well, you're still in my parts.
What?
Yeah, like it's all up in there. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could do that. Nor do I think they want.
So you're good with being a firework, but not with helping future science?
Yeah, but you know why? Because I don't want my body alive, right? Like that. I don't.
You don't want your body alive? Well, that kind of is taken care of when you die.
Yeah, no, I don't like this.
All right. We're going down the wrong track.
Okay, so, but yeah, people do donate their body to science. I think that's actually awesome for people to be able, doctors, nurses, surgeons, to be able to learn about that body and process it. Also, people who have had, rare diseases and stuff like that, to be able to see. So that is something as well. Over here, what I find a little bit fascinating is the composting.
Don't put me down for composting.
You don't want to do that?
No.
All right, well, we could. Composting turns that organic matter into soil conditioner. For human corpse, it can be performed by placing the body in a mixture of wood chips, allowing them to decompose the body, right? And in the United States, this method is legal in Washington State. For my Washington State viewers, you guys might already know this,
Both of you.
Jacob, did you know that you could be composted?
I heard something about that recently, but I didn't know it until like just right on now, and I know nothing about it except for what you've said. So
Yeah, so the first such composting facility based in Kent, Washington, accepted bodies in December 20th, 2020. And it's another idea is formulated by Katrina Spade of Seattle, Washington, is the Urban Death Project. So very interesting.
No.
Not for you?
Not for me.
Jacob's like, dude, I'm going to check that out
Negative.
now. I'm only 12. I mean, he looks 12.
hold
but
on
like,
a second. 12.
Okay, all right. Oh, you look young, but you had a mask on. So what can we say? You know, for me, mummification. You're into that time frame, right?
I enjoy history, yes.
Yeah. So if you think about being mummified, it's the drying of bodies and removing of organs. All right. The most famous practitioners were ancient Egyptians. That does go back in the history books. And Egyptian practices, bodies are embalmed, right? So similar to when we're going to be buried. And they are using resins, and organs are removed and placed in jars. That's what I was like.
Yes, but how was that done?
Well, bodies are then wrapped in bandages and placed in tombs along with their jars of organs. Many nobles and highly ranked bureaucrats had their corpses embalmed and stored in luxurious sarcophagus. Thank you. I had to sound that one out for myself. And in mausoleums. I don't know. That's one that I want to do more research on because I found so many other things fascinating, is that why do they take the organs out? Maybe if you know, throw it in the chat because that's really interesting.
Well, it's interesting in how they did it. If you're interested in it, research it, and then after you're done throwing up, you can come back and listen.
That's not nice. Okay, so LaShawn says, my parts are not working, so problem solved on that.
Perfect.
Ew, no. We need your parts to work, okay? Tree pod burial. So, Vicky, do you want to be a tree? We got you. With a tree pod burial, you find that there's something very healing about the process of taking care of new life after death. I did understand this process. You actually hear about people who will have their ashes and they want it spread in trees or out in the forest to help fertilize, to give back, to bring that new life, or plant with a seed and then watch that growth, right? But the Capsula Mundi burial pod holds cremated ashes or a whole body in the fetal position.
What?
Yeah, so that I was like, so you're going to put me in the pod. The pod is then buried in the earth, much like you would plant a seed, and a tree is planted above it. The body inside the eco-friendly pod decomposes and nourishes the soil, and the family of the deceased can continue to tend to the tree as a living memorial. Note that this option is not yet available in the U.S.
Okay.
I mean, I can see that, actually.
Yeah.
If you're going to be buried as it is, do it in something, because most modern day caskets are not biodegradable, and they have metal on them, right? So you're not doing anything for the environment, but this is actually giving you an opportunity to be broken down into Mother Earth. Now you are in the literal sense of transmuting that energy into Mother Earth and being able to bring life back in with that physical body, and yet continue the next journey on the soul level. So I do like that one. I really do.
I think location would be important. You know what I mean?
Okay, but you're a beach person.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're planting that tree, you'd have to be sure that would be, undisturbed. And, if like new zoning requirements come in for the city, we're not taking out Uncle John. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to form an attachment to that tree.
I have an Uncle John.
Sorry.
He wasn't tree buried.
He wasn't tree buried, yeah.
He actually was Catholic, so he's in his coffin in the cemetery. But that is something that's tricky. So sometimes it has to be like, I've heard of people that would do ashes spread out like at their favorite campground. Like, that may not be super legal, so I can't use names. But no, I mean, just to have that connection to where you do go back there year after year and you're able to have those ashes at that particular spot or that particular campsite or whatever it might be. So that I can understand. Yeah, exactly. If you're living in a home, what happens one day if it needs to be sold? The people will dig up the tree and take it as well. Just a very interesting concept for me. I've got Denise Moody, Dawn, Jennifer Cole, and Rich. You guys are getting cards today, so don't go anywhere. You guys, we are doing card readings. It's Angel Therapy and Ask an Angel deck going on. We might pull some, we have 6,000 decks. We'll pull other decks as well for you guys. Reef burial.
Reef. Okay.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Beach.
Yeah.
Ocean.
Nice.
Not dropping you off the end of the boat.
Okay.
Sinking you to the bottom. The reef burial is actually pretty cool. It's another water burial and involves the disposal of your ashes or whole body at sea. But a reef burial is a distant practice because individuals' cremated remains are mixed into environmentally safe concrete casts into artificial reef formations. So you are actually bringing life back into the ocean in that reef capacity. So you've heard about the artificial reefs out there, right? Reefs. They put them out there. They want to get the fish back out there. They want the ecosystem to start living and thriving again in certain areas, right? The barrier reef, they're always concerned about how long is it going to last out there because we're not doing so great with our planet right now, let's be honest. And our oceans are one of that area. How much of the world is compromised of water? The majority of it. So they're actually making, and I know that they were doing this, I didn't know they were adding past loved ones in it, but I know that they go out and they make different types of reefs in different areas to bring the fish and stuff back in. That's a lot of times while they'll leave sunken ships as well, because they are using that as their habitat now and creating that environment, right? So now you actually are part of life again in a different way. If you are into the ocean and you're into that water element and you want to create life again, that's what people are doing. The resulting structures are placed underwater to serve as a lasting habitat for fish and other sea life. Yeah.
I think all of these are interesting. I mean, we might make laugh or whatever, but it's just because it's not like a familiar thing. Like we don't really hear of it, or it doesn't. These are all very interesting and innovative and just different ways than just the traditional. I like that. I like anything new.
Absolutely.
Or just different.
All right, I'm going to pull a card because the next one is really going to get you guys. I'm not going to lie, but I want to save that for after the break. So Denise, I'm doing the Angel Therapy deck. Girl, you've got my ear going. That is my main guardian angel coming through. She's my protection angel. So I'm going to suggest that when she does that to me, it's either for me or the person I'm reading, that you need to work on boundaries and barriers. I know that's been the theme of your life, but we can change our life themes, you guys. We can move forward in that aspect, but there is some sort of energy. I also know where you live, and that can be an energy hub for, well, as we know, some heavier energy within the land and the area. But they are saying continue. If you are doing it, great. If not, add it to your daily routine of putting yourself in this beautiful shield to continue your own healing process. But for some reason, I'm also seeing someone returning, like an old friendship or something, trying to return back into your life. And you're really going to need to hold strong is what they're showing me on that respect as well. Maybe this has already happened. And they're just a little concerned that you aren't protecting your own energy as well. This card just fell out of the deck, so no wonder I just kept shuffling. Third eye chakra. So staying in tune with your third eye. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So I'm interested to see, are you starting to notice, will you find that for me real quick? Mm-hmm. Are you starting to notice your connection with your third eye and how that's moving forward? Because I am feeling as though that is something very big with you right now, is also the spiritual connection and ascension for you. It says, this card comes to you in response to your question about your future. You have visions about yourself and you're wondering whether they're real or mere imagination. Well, the angels assure you that you are having accurate insights and they wish to encourage your visual spiritual gifts. You have a natural clairvoyant tendency governed by the energy center located between your physical eyes, your third eye. Also, look for the messages 444, 111, these interface sequences, because your angels are trying to get your attention for something up and coming. That is positive, so I love that energy coming through. They also want you to fully awaken your third eye and the psychic vision. So start, if you aren't already journaling them and connecting more on that level. So this is kind of that twofold, like you're on the right track, but we need to kind of conserve your energy and protect your energy a little bit more. And if you do have someone coming back in the future, really be aware when that person all of a sudden shows up about your energy and not allowing them to take it anymore and give your power. All right, you guys, I got to go to break because we've got so much more to cover, more readings to come up as well. Denise, I'll leave you with that, and we'll see you guys right after this break.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. Hey, are you loving Shades of Spirit Radio? Well, mark your calendars. Shades of Spirit goes live in a new time spot every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. Psychic Medium Jaime and Spirit Walker Nicole, 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Live readings, giveaways, oracle cards, and lots of fun. So be there. Call into the show at 1-800-930-2819 and visit shadesofspirit.com.
Get empowered. Transformation Talk Radio. You're driven, and it totally shows. Your career is taking off, you're killing it in the mom game. But did your health needs make it on the plate this week? Tune in to the Boss Up Babe radio show, where Carissa Adkins helps babes show up, boss up, and thrive. Every second and fourth Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Become the boss babe you were meant to be. To sign up for one of Carissa's group coaching programs, visit 365dailyhustle.com.
Hi, I'm Patricia McNair, host of Divine Guidance with Patricia, and I'm here to help you live a more authentic, spiritually connected life. Join me every first and third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Being who you are in everyday life is the key to unlocking soul wisdom within that our whole self already knows. Get ready to embrace your spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being, your whole being. Discover your gifts and strengthen your connection to spirit. We will explore earth guidance, divine truth and love, past life lessons, and so much more. So listen in to Divine Guidance with Patricia and join in your personal adventure to triggering, opening, validating, and being all that you are. For more information about me, visit divineguidance.earth.
Are you feeling lost or unmotivated, stuck and not sure what to do next? David George Brooke has exactly what you need on That Gratitude Guy podcast. David George Brooke is a speaker, best-selling author, and life coach here to share stories of motivation and inspiration to help you get unstuck and achieve great things by living with gratitude. Live every first and third Friday at 12:30 Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Eye of Soul Radio. I'm Psychic Medium Jaime, here with my guest friend, counterpart, partner in crime, Spirit Walker Nicole.
Your guest friend.
My guest
That's
friend.
nice.
Yeah, I was comma. Do you want me to put commas in there?
No,
Guest
friend.
friend.
My guest
Yeah,
friend.
my guest friend. I love it. We are talking about different ways of burial processes because it's just so fascinating to hear what other people do. And honestly, like I probably could have done a 4-hour show on this to really get deep into some of these things. I haven't even covered certain parts of the world. This is just stuff that, was immediate that came up that I found intriguing. I love it because Jennifer Cole says the reef burial sounds like the best for our planet. Doesn't it though? I mean, being able to give back to the ocean and be able to be connected that way. Absolutely. We've got Dawn, Jennifer, Cole, and Rich. Your readings. I think what we'll do is we'll finish off this segment and then just do readings for the last 15 minutes of the show.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. So the sky burial. In Tibet, a sky burial is an ancient and sacred tradition for Tibetan Buddhists. Okay. And much of what is known in the ceremony is from the 12th century Tibetan Book of the Dead and from eyewitness accounts from a few outsiders who've been invited to watch. So this is why I was like, this is so cool. And the more research I did on it, we could really just do a show strictly on that. I definitely feel connected to that area. I do believe I had a past life in that area. It's funny because you felt like you just kind of went into that area in your Akashic records this week. And I have a monk who comes in during healing sessions on myself. So when I would have acupuncture or Reiki work done, he's always with me. We're either journeying to separate my soul from my physical body in that respect, or he's working with me with certain clients, which I know when he comes that we have a lot more work to do than I kind of anticipated. So I really find that culture and the history behind it fascinating. The body is simply left in the open air. Okay, so that usually they'll take them up on these hills, from my understanding, and it is to be entirely consumed by vultures.
Okay. And then what happens?
While it may sound gory, you guys, it's deeply tied to Buddhist beliefs in reincarnation and honing the earth by nourishing its creatures, or honoring the earth by nourishing its creatures.
So how come it's called a sky burial?
Because they take you up on the top of this mountain. The birds are coming in.
Oh, I thought you were like on a hillside. You go on top of a mountain?
On a mountain, hillside, wherever they're at. I mean,
Okay.
I think these are different locations, right? I'm just trying to give you little glimpses into all of these. I found that one just to be quite shocking, like that they're just taking the bodies up there, and yet it's honoring Earth.
And the birds take you into the sky.
There you go.
Whilst enjoying the snack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the vultures are prominent down there as well. So, I mean, I find that that's kind of like the scary movies in Vegas, to where, you know, you're buried in the sand by the mafia, and they're pecking your eyes out and they're wandering around. But no, this
What are
is
you watching?
Just don't worry about it. Netflix, it's fine. But no, I do feel that is something that definitely honors the life cycle.
Yeah.
But interesting.
It's different.
Oh, yeah, absolutely different. But they have this whole process for it, right? It's very personal, and it's very spiritual. And that's why I think I was kind of drawn to it as well.
I told you on the break, and maybe some of our listeners that are listening, you guys, have you seen the Thor, I think is it Thor 2? What is it? Whatever that's called, where his mom dies, and they do like that whole ceremony for her, and she like, there's the fire and the people, and she goes into the star. That's what I'm talking about. I like the music. I like the concept.
So you want a musical burial?
I want like a Thor burial concept.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can give you a musical burial. Are you guys ready for this? You're never going to look at a record the same again.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Ashes to Vinyl. It's not a rock song. It is an actual process. You should see her face. Music is the soundtrack of our lives, right? I know a lot of us base a lot of our life on music. If a certain song comes up, it takes us back to a moment in time, right? It's very much soothing for a lot of us. It does take us back into happy memories, sad memories, traumatic memories. You can ride that ride. You listen. Why do you think movies put music in there? Is to get you ramped up, or they want you to feel the emotion, right? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I'm doing like a QVC show at night. You can be a part of a soundtrack.
What does that mean?
Okay, you ready? You can have your ashes sprinkled on a piece of raw vinyl before it's pressed, and your ashes become part of the record. I'm going to freak my middle one out. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell her that I got her a record. I'm going to hand it to her. No, that's like a dirty trick, and it's disrespectful to people that do this. But no, you can actually have your ashes pressed in that vinyl and listen to that vinyl, your loved ones, and know that you are part of that soundtrack, that music, that vibration, that elevation.
Yeah, let me go get my record player. Excuse me, I'll be right back from 1982.
Oh, please, they have them everywhere. Best Buy, Target. Where do you think we got them as? You can get them anywhere. So that one was interesting, and people do that. I'm not sure how that goes. Like, I'm just trying to like picture it. Like, okay.
Do you pick the song? Is it like a certain?
Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping maybe it's like, you know, an old mixed tape.
Okay.
But you've got your ashes in there. So that one I found probably the most off the wall so far. I'm telling you, my research is not nearly done because, well, there are so many different ways to go about this. With that being said, I want to go to this other one. Glass blowing, which is interesting. Heating the glass. So my mom has all of this glass blown. Like back in the days, that was a big thing. You'd go to SeaWorld or whatever, and they would have these glass blowers. I love to watch. If you've ever been in Laguna Beach in California during their Sawdust Festival, and I know you can see them in other places, they actually have the big, I don't know if you call them kilns, And they have people that do it the entire process, the entire time that they're there for the Sawdust Festival. It's a yearly event. And to watch them add the color of that molten glass and how they blow it and create those beautiful pieces, vases. I mean, we've got some blown glass stuff around here as well. But you could actually, because they will take stuff from ash and then they add it in there and it melts it with the heat, becomes a piece of art as well in some type of blown glass structure, vase.
Again, that's cool. It's all fine and good until your drunk ass comes in at 2 a.m. and you knock it over and you know what I mean?
Uplifting.
I'm just
saying. Maybe we don't keep it somewhere where, for family Thanksgiving.
Well,
I'm not going to lie. I might have accidentally been dancing in my mom's living room when I was little and had one of those fluffy Blenny slippers on. And I did one of these fancy karate kick things and shot that thing right into part of her glass that were on the shelves around the fireplace. And can you imagine the time that I went to tell her is when she was in the shower? Mom, I had a little accident and I think we broke some of your things. Bye. Yeah. But no, so that is also a different way to be able to utilize those ashes when we're being cremated. Stuff I would have never, like everyday things that we see. If you have records, if you've got blown glass, if you're watching fireworks, if you're out snorkeling, scuba diving in the ocean, these are different ways that we are also processing our bodies and being able to do it differently, right? We are running out of space in a lot of different states and counties for graveyards. And as much as we find graveyards a great place to connect and to enjoy some quiet space and to be able to just be in that moment, we're losing space for that. So they're trying to find alternate methods. And I love the fact, like the tree pod, that you can give back and life can grow from you. The sky burial, to have them be able to just to come down in that process. And it's a little gory. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm kind of thinking, okay. But at the same time, you're nourishing these creatures, these animals, and they're taking it back up.
I just thought of that Katy Perry song, Firework. I'm now thinking of it differently.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And then obviously they eat other things and berries and stuff, right? How do you think trees get surrounded in the world as well? And then they release their droppings. And then you've now created life in that aspect. Blows my mind. It's just so fascinating for me. She's over here singing Firework. I don't know what to do with her, you guys. Yes, Annette. So before we go to break, we got 2 minutes. Tattoos and ashes.
Yeah. Yes, we do have clients that will come and they often have questions for their relatives if they're either thinking about it or if they've done it, or they take a little bit of those ashes and have the tattoo artist mix it in with the ink for their tattoo. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, and there have been times where I will say, okay, so your brother is coming to me and he's showing me that you're putting those ashes into a tattoo and it's going to be right here and it's of a butterfly. And they're like, yeah, exactly. You can't ask your loved ones on the other side how they feel about that. Sometimes you'll get a good answer. Sometimes you won't. It's interesting how that works out. When we come back from break, you guys, there's so many more we could do, but I also like to get to readings and these things because I know a lot of us are looking for clarity and advice and just wanting a connection as well. So we've got some readings coming up. You guys, we have an angel connection workshop next Saturday, the 20th. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's $40. And Spirit Walker Nicole, LaShawn, myself are going to teach you guys about the angelic realm, but it's not something that you're used to hearing and seeing. We're going on different levels, different phylums, ways that we can bring them in better. You're going to get an angelic reading in the process. I still have a few spots left. We like to keep these as intimate workshops. So you can sign up on Shades of Spirit LLC on Facebook. And yeah, join us. We're going to do some readings. We'll see you right after this break.
The Finder of Lost Things, exploring your superpowers of trust, healing, and transformation with me, Hannah Belton. When my brother Christian went missing, I completely denied my grief. We can either transform and transition, or we can stay stagnant. This podcast will uncover the process that Christian and I went on to find the lost things him and to find the parts of me that were missing. And there's things that are missing in you that prevent you from letting go, whether it's a person, a dream, a lifestyle. That process of trusting and finding the lost pieces and integrating them. That's where you get your sustainable transition that will carry on. Tune in every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific on transformationtalkradio.com. You can find me at hannahvelton.online.
You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Psychic Medium Jaime, and boy do I have a gift for you to help you get through March Madness. You've all said you're tired of jumping through hoops, so for the month of March, my gift to all of you is my full hour sessions are now half off. Psychic readings, oracle card readings, connect with your loved ones, and gain spiritual guidance from your spirit team. So get ready to step in and move from March Madness to March Manifestation together. Book at shadesofspirit.com or call me at 858-684-7575. Back, everybody. We are talking about death and burial rituals, different ways that you can now be buried, cremated, sent out to sea, be eco-friendly. I don't know. I'm hung up on the vinyl record. What are you hung up on?
I'm a firework, yo.
Yeah, as I figured.
Yeah.
Fireworks. The space one's cool. Like that just kind of just funky. I like that one a lot. I don't think that I will have myself made into jewelry. I don't. Now Vicky has steered me off from that, so I just don't think that's going to happen. What if it gets lost? But we just don't.
At the end of the day, though, like all these are just for, like we're in spirit. Like we're watching you make these plans, and it's like this is for us. It's lovely to remember, but it's not like we're not fully aware of everything that's happening. And it's have you ever done a reading where they're like, you guys screwed up my funeral, this was ridiculous? Like, no, I mean, maybe there was some family drama that they didn't like that went down at the funeral, but most of the time, like they're there. This is just ceremony, and
that's the thing.
Tradition.
So for the angels, Dawn, you had 2 cards fall out, so I'm looking at this as well. On the angel perspective, you've never heard them talk about this process, have you?
No.
Isn't that interesting?
For me, in my interpretation of they don't care. Like they're there for your soul. Like they're going to help you cross over and help you get on with your stuff, because death is just the beginning, and you have other stuff to do. We've got a big plans, got lots to do. Let's go. Let's get it done. They're not hanging out and, oh, well, we can't sit this person next to this person because mom didn't like that. Or, oh, dad wouldn't have liked to be buried under a tree, or whatever it is. Like it's just like the smallest, most $11,000 problem. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Okay, Dawn. So we've got your 3rd chakra, Archangel Shamuel. So tell Dawn about Shamuel.
Shamuel is about relationships, self-love, balance, all that good stuff.
It's emotions of desire and life force energy. The power of Archangel Shamuel is holding a beautiful sphere of golden light at the solar plexus, which is the location of your 3rd chakra, right? Your center, your life force. You've heard us talk about that over and over again. The issues here revolve around emotions and desire and your personal energy when the card appears upright. Indicates that the increase of enthusiasm is present or soon to be on its way. This is a great time to move toward the completion of your desires. Your business. They're showing me dollar signs. They're showing beauty around you. So that's kind of coming in that spring part. I don't even know where you're at. We haven't talked about where you're at the moment for that. This is a great time to take your life force and move with it, because it's vibrating with power and it's resonating with your soul calling to your highest potential. So you're on the calling. Your soul is starting to align with where you're supposed to be going on that path. This angel of power is with you now, so go for it. Directing your energy through focus. But then the 2nd card flew out, and it's the woman holding a coin, okay? So, I mean, first of all, classy bougie right here. She's got a black cat around her as well. I've actually never seen this card out of this deck. So the affirmation is, my 3rd chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I radiate a bright and vibrant life force energy. I feel excitement for all that I do. So that's awesome. The vibration's coming up. You're starting to be able to settle in. Go with it. If you're starting to feel also like you got too much energy going on, take it with what you're doing and just house that energy into what you're trying to create, because you're in that creative flow right now. This is the female connection with money, health, or value. Well, I was drawing dollar signs for you. Finding your value, sticking to it, creating that financial aspect of abundance. It says this elegantly dressed woman on the card sits on a beautiful chair holding a bright coin. When this card comes up right in a woman's reading, Dawn, it may refer to her directly and to the successful endeavor regarding her own financial or health. I love that for her. This is great positive energy, positive backing for you. This card could also signal a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. She's giving you financial advice or connecting you with someone who does. So look for the signs, the connections, the people that can back you with this process. This woman may be someone you meet where you make your own money, or it may be a woman of wealth and value to help back what you're doing. So don't take that off the table quite yet. Either way, this card is telling you to be on the lookout for helpful assistance or even the possibility of a new friendship connected to a woman of wealth or business. I love it. That's where you're headed. You're going in the right direction. And I'm going to leave you with that. That's awesome.
She's going to connect to somebody with wealth?
Yeah.
Can she send them our way when she's done?
If Lisa's watching, this is a really good sign, Dawn. A really good sign. Lisa, keep playing those lotto numbers. Hey, you know what? Who knows? It didn't say where the wealth is coming from. And Lisa, she's been manifesting that. So, all right. You got Rich?
I do.
And I got Jennifer Cole before we go. Okay.
Rich, this is restore and replenish, and this is talking about your need of something so much deeper than rest. You need restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not necessarily come from lying about somewhere, taking a moment out of your day, or evening activities. You're more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. You need some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, heart, and mind. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing the usual flow of energy through your being. You could stimulate this process by going to a different place, meeting different people, and taking different action to do what you would usually do. And this is all about leveling up, Rich. You're so good at what you do, and it's all about keep looking for those classes, keep looking for those opportunities, and those people that can keep leveling up your game so you just get better and better all the time. Rich is certainly not ever one to rest on his laurels and just be happy where he is. He's always looking around for an opportunity to learn or teach or both, and that's one of the things I like best about him.
What's interesting is his card.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that.
Fetal position with Mother Earth. It's because for you, you're also a healer, and a damn good one at that it's about that connection. It's about that earth connection for you. It does not mean that you have to be buried as a tree, but it is about that earth-based connection and honoring the inner child within. Love it. Dawn says, thank you so much. I'm working on projects currently. Yes. This is a good time for you, Dawn, to work on those projects. All right, Jennifer, our last reading. We've got about 4 minutes left today. Here we go. You ready? Awakening, Archangel Jeremiel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this one is an angel that I don't know much about. So what can we tell her about this one?
Hold on. I'm finding the page for you.
Perfect.
There you go.
Beautiful card, though. I love the colors. Okay. So I'll read the card, and then she'll tell you a little bit about Archangel Jeremiel. Each person is born with a unique fingerprint of God. Okay. So if you are believing in that or source, we do have that unique fingerprint. We are energy. We can never be destroyed, right? We are a multitude of ingredients that together make us who we are. We're born into the specific families and specific places with challenges as well as the nurturing that we need to learn and grow into who we become. Beyond that, we are made up of the instinctive traits, fears, passions, and longings that reflect our nature. You decided to pick one heck of a life, and the accomplishments, the ups, the downs, the wins, the losses, like you definitely placed yourself in the right place at the right time for all of these. All these things give us clues as to what we need to gain and experience in order to learn and grow in this life. And they show us what our soul longs to express and feel. It's time to look at what these clues are telling you about you. Go in. This is about you, okay? What is special, unique essence that makes you? Do you feel truly perfect, the god or goddess that exists at the core of your being? And owning it, stepping into that power. This is the time of awakening, of waking to the core of who you are and the immense potential that you hold in each moment. So why does she have this particular archangel coming in?
So Jeremiel is known as like the archangel of visions and dreams. And he really helps people, all people. But if you're having some like troubles or something that's like kind of weighing on you, Jeremiel will come in and try to give you that message. Sometimes it could be through daydreams, but mostly in your nighttime dreams, and sort of try to help you, let you know that he's there and just sort of steer you in that right direction.
I love it. She said she loves the card.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm kind of amped tonight because after this, we'll grab a quick bite to eat, and then it kicks off the Reiki 1, Reiki 2 mediumship intuitive development class. It's a workshop I've created. All my workshops are created through Spirit. I sit down with my Spirit team. We build these workshops over the course of months, and then we start to execute them. I love being a Reiki teacher, a Reiki master, and I also have people that want to do different careers. So I have someone who's a doula. I have someone that has written a book and is moving into intuitive coaching. And I have someone that wants to be, she's signing up to be a hospice volunteer. Those people are working with me in the group class. It's once a month, Thursday night, 7:30 to 9:30 right now. But if you're interested in this class and want to become certified in Reiki 1 and 2, along with learning how to develop your mediumship and intuitive abilities to make it a deep program for you to be able to expand out, whether you're a nurse, whether you work in a grocery store, whether you want to go into holistic healing, this is the course for you. So check that out. If you missed tonight, that's okay. We can do a makeup this month and get you on track with the group, or we can do individual sessions. Don't forget, Shades of Spirit has moved to Wednesdays at 5 p.m. So we will be back again next Wednesday, Shades of Spirit Radio at 5 p.m. Go to our website, Shades of Spirit, and check out our YouTube page, Shades of Spirit. Subscribe, hit the bell. LaShawn's going on tomorrow with a cool little exercise she's going to do for you guys. And our Shades of Spirit, what are you calling it? Uncensored.
Uncensored, yeah.
Ladies, we're doing it. Shades of Spirit Uncensored on YouTube. It's the Fierce 4 p.m. live. Join us. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening in on Eye of Soul Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com with me, Psychic Medium Jaime. Return here next time so you can explore more of the lower level energies, realms, or dimensions. We will go through more darker spirit stories and provide more guidance and self-growth to those who need it. For more information about me, Psychic Medium Jaime, and the Eye of Soul, visit eyeofsoulradio.com. That's eyeofsoulradio.com. Eye of Soul Radio only on TransformationTalkRadio.com. See you next time.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.